Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Thursday, February the 19th. This is CTV News. Tonight, jobs gone. Government cuts begin as budget crunch tightens. Tapping out, a popular craft brewery announces it's closing. And an insatiable appetite. Meet the man they call the Donaire Beast.
Live from our Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. It is safe to say we are beginning to see the results of provincial deficits around here. Smaller schools in New Brunswick are deeply concerned they will be shut down as that province deals with more than $1 billion in red ink. We've got more on that in just a moment. In Nova Scotia, job cuts started today and are expected to impact a number of departments before next week's budget. About 80 positions across a number of departments have been eliminated, according to a provincial employee who asked CTV News not to identify them. It's expected the upcoming budget will reduce the size of the civil service by 5%, while Crown corporations will shrink by 3%. Another 175 employees are being redeployed. Nova Scotia General Employees Union today confirming the layoffs, noting province will be less welcoming because a lot of the losses are impacting those who worked in tourism.
I know some of these folks, and they are good, hardworking Nova Scotians, great ambassadors to this province. My heart goes out to them because this is devastating news, no question.
Mullen says the layoffs will see the closure of visitor information centres all over the province, including the busy one at Peggy's Cove. And as the Nova Scotia legislature gets ready to open for the winter session, opposition parties are demanding an independent budgetary officer be installed at Province House. The official opposition leader, Claudia Chender, says government overspending and fiscal accountability are top of mind right now. The province is closing the year with a record $1.4 billion deficit, and Chender says an independent officer would add a level of accountability to government spending.
The idea is that we would certainly save money in the long run because we would be able to evaluate the spending choices of government and make sure that we're getting value for money. And value for money has been a place where this government has constantly faced scrutiny.
We want to prevent future tax hikes. We want to prevent debt from services being reduced as well. And they didn't have to come to this. So this institution would help give that independent lens, and we're happy the NDP agrees.
The Houston government is expected to release its 5th budget coming up on Monday. As mentioned, a handful of schools in New Brunswick are on edge about the future tonight. To save money, the cash-strapped provincial government is considering closing schools with fewer than 100 students. Here's CTV's Laura Brown.
Riverside Consolidated School, with its plumbing and ventilation systems, was considered one of the finest schools in the country when it opened in 1905, according to the Albert County Museum.
It's not a facility, I guess I wouldn't describe it as. It's a home.
It remains a place of pride for its 50 students and the community that have created a petition to make it clear it should not close. Carly Lyman is mom to 2 of those students.
I would like to think that it would not happen, but 11 years ago we fought to keep this school open, and they really had to rally and fight, and I believe representatives from the district came and were bused from Elma all the way to Hillsborough to see what it would be like.
The province is trying to find places to save money in order to combat its $1.3 billion deficit. One option is to close schools with fewer than 100 students.
Right now, we are not in favor of closing any of our schools. Having consulted with the minister, it's clear that this is an exercise where they're looking at everything around the province. So it's not an exercise where everybody should be panicked right away. There will be a time for panic if and when we get there. We are nowhere near that point.
The process to close a school takes time, too. But the finance minister said earlier this week, other than raising taxes, everything is on the table. Laura Brown, CTV News.
This is not particularly good news for governments looking for more tax revenue. It would seem the maritime population boom has ended, with all provinces losing residents at the end of last year. Noted the province lost about 1,000 people in the fourth quarter of 2025. It's the first time the population has fallen since the beginning of 2017. Stats Canada says Nova Scotia was down about 1,400 people in the same quarter. That's the first population drop the province has recorded since the end of 2020. PEI's population actually fell in 2 quarters in 2025, including the fourth when it lost about 150 people. Newfoundland and Labrador, by the way, also lost about 200 people in the same period.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
RCMP in New Brunswick have accused a youth of participating in terrorist activities involving the 764 Network, an online group recently added to Canada's list of terrorist entities. Mounties say the youth is now subject to a terrorism peace bond. That's the second imposed on a youth in the province this month. RCMP alleged the youth used online sites to promote the group, which they say uses social media and gaming platforms to spread violent narratives and radicalize people. The accused in the Jansen Baker double murder trial testified in his own defense for a second day today, insisting he was not responsible for killing an elderly couple in their home in Dieppe in 2019. CTV's Derek Haggett has been covering the trial.
Once again, Baker denied he had anything to do with the murders of Bernard and Rosemarie Saunier. "I know that I did not commit this crime," he told the jury. Crown Prosecutor James McConnell showed court a photo of Baker wearing a long gold chain. Court previously heard testimony that a man named Nick Bain allegedly gave Baker a chain as part of a payment for killing the Sauniers. "You earned that chain, didn't you?" asked McConnell. "I didn't earn it by killing anybody, that's for sure," replied Baker. McConnell asked Baker about reddish stains on his shirt. Baker said it was an old stain and it could have been anything, possibly juice or ketchup. McConnell pressed Baker about the stains. "It is absolutely not blood," said Baker. Baker has pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder in the deaths of the Sauniers, who were shot and killed in their home on September 7, 2019. The trial will resume on Monday. Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
Popular Halifax art gallery is missing a couple of intricate sketches of birds. The owner of Argyle Fine Arts says somebody walked away with 2 original colored pencil drawings by local artist Dusan Postovic. The birds were framed in simple black frames, and it's believed they were stolen sometime between yesterday and today. In a Facebook post, the owner, Adriana Afford, said, quote, "We just want the art back. If you stole it, please return it. No questions asked." A pair of valuable jerseys have been stolen from a popular Halifax tavern. The heist took place last night, but security cameras were watching. CTV's Callum Smith has more.
At their hometown rink, Sidney Crosby and Nathan McKinnon memorabilia cover the walls, a sign of where it all began. Cole Harbour, home of 2 of the NHL's best and top players for Team Canada at the Olympics. But as this Halifax brewpub hopes Canada punches a ticket to Sunday's gold medal game, they're just hoping their local stars' signed jerseys are returned.
Jersey number 1, and this is where jersey number 2 was.
Both stolen Wednesday night just before closing.
I got a phone call shortly after 8:30. My staff member was bawling. She said, "We just got robbed." She said a gentleman came in wearing a mask and took the jerseys out of the front lobby.
Surveillance video shows a vehicle pull into the empty parking lot, back up to the front door as someone gets out and walks in. At the top of this camera angle, you can see someone take the McKinnon jersey and load it into the vehicle before coming back in and taking the Crosby jersey, all happening in about 30 seconds. It was only then a staff member saw and ran to the front doors, but the vehicle fled.
It's really disheartening. It was kind of our prized possessions here.
Langley says her staff are physically okay, but shaken from the masked robbery.
They were bracketed from the top and the bottom, like secure brackets around them. These were not hung by a nail. They were secure brackets. So we can only assume that they have been in enough times to continuously loosen them as they go out, because there's no way you would have been able to pull these off the ball.
The jersey's worth about $4,000, but she expects that total to climb if Canada wins.
We hung them there to show our pride, our loyalty, and our community, how we feel about them.
Halifax police are investigating but didn't have any new details today. Langley hopes the jerseys are safely returned and Canada brings home gold. Callum Smith, CTV News, Halifax.
If you've been following the Olympics, you know it was not the best result that everyone was looking for, but it certainly was a game for the ages today. Today's gold medal women's final between Canada and the U.S. had fans cheering right across the Maritimes, but perhaps nowhere louder than New Glasgow. Two coaches and hockey hero Blair Turnbull are from nearby Stellarton, and the pride today was on full display.
We all are so proud of her. To think of the accomplishments, like coming from like a little town here in Stellarton and living her dream. And we all are just so proud to be able to follow her in the journey to where she is now.
Corey Chevry, you know, she's been a resident of New Glasgow forever. We sort of claim her as our own. Troy Ryan lived here, coached our Crusher team for many years. So we feel very connected to them and really proud.
In the end, the Americans beat the Canadians 2-1 in overtime. If you're tired of the season, we are happy to tell you about more direct options to warmer weather tonight. Air Transat has announced new direct flights to Mexico from a pair of maritime airports. Those include new weekly flights direct from Fredericton and Charlottetown right to Cancun. The first flights left yesterday. They run until April 22nd. The airline also announcing other routes as it pivots away from American cities. Still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast, and we'll examine the local reaction to the arrest of the former Prince Andrew. Coming up next, though, going flat.
Consumers have less disposable income to purchase beverage alcohol.
Is the golden age of craft beer winding down? A popular spot in Halifax is tapping out. We've got details when we come back.
It didn't get much of a...
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Did you hear we're giving away 30 trips to right here, Beaches, Turks and Caicos with Password to Paradise.
Listen for your passwords every 2 hours from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Question: has the excitement over craft beer gone kind of flat? News that a Halifax brewery is closing after 10 years is certainly raising concerns about the health of the industry in general. CTV's Jonathan McGuinness looked into it.
Another popular Halifax brewery is closing its doors. In a social media post, Two Crows announced they would be closing both their locations at Brunswick Street and Oxford Street. They are not the only craft brewery to close in our region in the last few years. Charlottetown-based Upstreet Brewing shut down last year after a decade in the business, while Serpent Brewing in Spryfield closed in late 2023. Richard Alexander from Beer Canada says times are tough right now for all breweries across the country.
We've seen historic levels of inflation. Consumers have less disposable income to purchase beverage alcohol. That's impacting the ability of consumers to go out and enjoy a cold beer while they're watching the Olympics. So we're seeing that. We've also seen the Trump tariffs on aluminum have driven up costs.
Two Crows just celebrated their 9-year anniversary back on January 24th. No one from Two Crows wanted to do an interview with us today. In their final social media post, Two Crows says they are grateful to their staff, customers, and the Nova Scotia craft beer community. Two Crows will be locking their doors on March 8th. Jonathan McGuinness, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, John. Time for a quick little break, but when we return, it's your complete maritime weather forecast. Another weekend pretty much upon us again. Kaylin Mitchell will tell us what to expect when CTV News at 11:30 continues. Thursday evening, 19th day of February today. It was nice in the sunshine, I'll give you that.
Yeah, there was a good deal of it around a good portion of the Maritimes, large area of New Brunswick, western Nova Scotia. Became a little bit more partly cloudy around Prince Edward Island and parts of the east of Nova Scotia. We are underneath a little ridge of high pressure right now, so we're looking at a fairly clear and cold night for the Maritimes. Fair amount of sunshine in the forecast for Friday, and then coming up Friday night into Saturday, the possibility that southwestern areas of Nova Scotia, maybe a few parts of southwest New Brunswick, pick up a bit of snow from this low pressure system that's going to be making its way to the midwestern U.S. and through New England. So taking a look at our forecast timeline for cloud cover and precipitation, we'll head to the start of the day for tomorrow, mostly clear and cold. And then for the afternoon, sunny skies, except for a mix of sun and cloud. Some of that, some increasing cloudiness around the southwest of New Brunswick and the southwest of Nova Scotia, as well as a few areas of Cape Breton. Now, cloud cover continues to increase in southwestern parts of the region as we head through Friday evening. Then late Friday night into early Saturday morning, that's as that low pressure system is exiting the northeastern U.S. You can see the potential there for some of that snow to brush in towards areas like Campobello in New Brunswick and Grand Manan, and then into the southwest of Nova Scotia, especially Digby, Yarmouth, Shelburne, Queens counties. Even possible that some lighter snow makes its way up towards the Halifax area as flurries travel up through the Annapolis Valley. That round of snow would then exit off towards the east as we make our way through the morning into the afternoon. The potential, though, that there might be at least some localized snowfall totals in the southwestern corner of Nova Scotia is 5 to 10 centimeters. So if you were traveling down the south shore and that travel was either going to take place late Friday night or for Saturday morning, just be aware that there may be some snow-covered and slippery roads that will have developed through that part of the region. Taking a look at low temperatures in the forecast for tonight, most of the lows will be falling several degrees below zero, and some areas down into the minus teens, including parts of Prince Edward Island and much of New Brunswick. Highs in the forecast for tomorrow in the north of New Brunswick between -5 and -7, so chillier for that part of the Maritimes. Central and southern areas of New Brunswick, though, for tomorrow with high temperatures mostly between -4 and +1, mildest in the southwest. Prince Edward Island for tomorrow with high temperatures around -5, -6 for most communities, so it's going to be chilly there. And same thing goes for eastern areas of Nova Scotia with most high temperatures between around -2 and -5. Temperatures become a little bit milder, moving towards the southwest of Nova Scotia, so around 2 degrees for Halifax and Dartmouth for tomorrow, -1 at Truro, the Annapolis Valley with high temperatures near 2 degrees, and for the south shore of Nova Scotia, 2 at Liverpool and Shelburne, and 3 at Yarmouth and Barrington. Taking a look at the extended forecast through the weekend for New Brunswick, it's pretty fair. Mix of sun and clouds Saturday, sunny on Sunday. Now, Monday, some increasing cloudiness and the potential for some snow, at least for southern areas of New Brunswick, Monday night into early Tuesday morning, and that's followed by a chance of some flurries. Snow also possible on Wednesday and Thursday of next week. For Nova Scotia in the outlook, coming up Saturday morning, potential for that snow in the southwest of the province. It'll be clearing off towards the east. Some isolated flurries on Sunday, mostly for eastern areas of Nova Scotia. Then snow returning late in the day on Monday, around for Monday night, before easing to some areas of lighter snow and flurries on Tuesday. Wednesday, mix of sun and cloud, and a mixture of snow and rain possible on Thursday of next week. And for Prince Edward Island in the forecast, it is flurries for the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. On Monday, increasing cloudiness with snow developing Monday night, ongoing into Tuesday morning. Mix of sun and cloud follows for Wednesday, and then a mixture of snow and rain possible on Thursday of next week. Bruce.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate it. We'll step aside for a moment, but stay with us. A whole lot more to come.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
Well, as you've doubtless heard, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor was arrested earlier today. Last year, the former prince was stripped of all of his titles over his links to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now he's being investigated for suspicion of misconduct while in public office. CTV's Hafsa Arif has local reaction tonight.
Thames Valley police say a man in his 60s was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. While they're not naming the suspect, multiple UK outlets report It is former Prince Andrew.
I think it's important that he has been arrested because sharing those public documents, private documents, I should say, documents concerning the British government should not have been done.
It was surprising for somebody in his status to get arrested for something like that when he's supposed to be held to a higher standard of everybody else.
Former political science professor David Johnson says the moment reinforces a principle rooted deep in British history.
No one is above the law in these countries, and certainly in Britain, no one is above the law, not even a king or queen, not even a member of the royal family, and this clearly brings that into focus, absolute clear focus.
Johnson says it's not surprising the royal family is distancing itself from the former prince.
I'm not surprised to see that the king has issued a statement that the law in England will prevail. And I suspect that the royal family and Buckingham Palace will have nothing to say about this case as it proceeds. It's out of their hands.
Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Hafsa. Time for one final break tonight. Coming up, we'll introduce you to the Donaire Beast. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at Yarmouth on this Thursday evening. Currently -6 right now. Kaylin Mitchell will tell you how to dress for the morning when we come back.
The 2026 Bell AUS Basketball Championships are coming up.
We'll see you on the court February 20th to 22nd here at Scotiabank Center.
Join us for an action-packed weekend filled with games and fun.
For details, visit aushoops.ca.
Okay, so it's now officially the 20th day of February. It's Friday morning. The month feels like it's kind of dragging a little bit now after, speeding along until recently.
Yeah, I always find that happens a little bit through the last part of February and maybe the first part of March as well. I don't know what reason that is. Maybe we just had or almost had our fill of winter at that point in time. Temperatures Friday morning, they're going to be on the colder side across the region, several degrees below zero for most communities, some down to the minus double digits. They'll recover a little bit in the afternoon, though there are going to be some chilly spots for tomorrow, including the north of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and parts of the east of Nova Scotia. Bruce.
All right, thank you, sir. Well, those of us who love them know that there's really nothing like a Donaire. As CTV's Vanessa Wright shows us tonight, the Donaire Beast is ready for the world to know about the Halifax delicacy.
I love Donaires. I eat them all the time. And I think Donaires should have a world platform. You got to add some sauce. Lots of sauce. Don't be scared.
He's had about 5,000 Donaires in his lifetime and has made it his mission to get even the toughest food critics on the Donaire train. He wants the world to know about Halifax's iconic dish, starring in his own Donaire documentary set to be released next year.
What people can expect with this documentary is absolute everything you need to know about a Donaire. The story, where it came from, who made it, who taught people how to make it. Absolutely delicious, like nothing else you've ever smelled in your life. We need to get this out to the world. I think the whole world should know what a Donaire is and should taste a Donaire and make their own Donaire.
And hopefully love it almost as much as he does. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Dartmouth.
Bet we know what you're craving right now. Okay, that's the program for tonight. CTVNewsAtlantic.ca is where you want to go if you want to check out anything you've seen tonight. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thanks for staying up late with us. Have a good night. We'll see you again tomorrow for Friday.